my name is Gabriela, and here is our podcast. Can you please introduce yourselves?
Yep, my name is David and I came from Hungary.
My name is Greta and I came from Lithuania.
Greetings to everybody, I'm Edo and I come from Italy.
As I've said, my name is Gabriela, I come from Lithuania, and I'm a teacher here in CICD. And these are my students, who are in a very special part of their program. Currently, they are preparing for a 6-month action period where?
In
Zambia.
Zambia.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
So in this podcast, we will cover basically where you are now in the program, how you're feeling about it, and we will also get a bit deeper into, in general, what this program is, why did you come here, and so on. So maybe I'll start with a short introduction of what is CICD, which is the College for International Cooperation and Development. It is a campus in England which provides short courses programs, basically, of 10 months and 12 months, with the possibility of doing a saving up period, which is called Gaia, and I will ask you also a bit later to talk about it, or to come as a self-payer, so basically to pay for the program. And this program is possible because of the cooperation with an NGO that is called Mana People to People. This organization provides basically the possibility for the students to go to the projects. They support the students financially and make this whole thing possible. So, yeah, let's get into it, right? So, what actually brought you to CICD? How did you find it?
Can I start, guys?
All yours.
Okay. So, I heard about CICD a couple of years ago, maybe around 10 or 12, something like that, because that time my godfather and my cousin, my cousin was before, so they were studying here, and they also finished the project. And not just them, also so many other members of my family who actually finished their project here in CICD, the 12 months in Africa project, that I also chose, and I'm part of it. So I heard a couple of years ago about CICD, but that time it doesn't really touch me, because I was young and I wasn't really interested on it. So mainly I decided to come here to CICD 2.5 years ago, and since that time I'm here. And the reason why I came here, because that time my life I wasn't really happy with it, and I didn't really know what to do in the life, because I wasn't motivated by money. I didn't really feel good. I did different type of jobs. I tried a lot. And then my godfather that I mentioned, he was here at DI as well, and he was actually mentioning that to me, like, David, why are you not going to CICD and try out volunteers? How does it go? So yeah, I decided to give a try for it 2.5 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it runs in your family, basically.
Yeah.
CICD family.
Family tradition, let's say like that.
Yeah. Now your children also have to come here.
It's mandatory. It's a must.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, cool. I can go
You go.
next. So I came to the school almost 4 years ago. I was 18 and I just finished the high school, and at this moment I just wanted to travel, to see the world, and I think like, oh, how I can do it, where I can go, and always I had this dream I was really interested about African culture, and I really wanted to know how people live there, the music, the art, this way of living in community and everything. So for me it was like very interesting, and I was looking for the way how I could meet the culture and actually learn about it. Not just like go there and make a child, but also study a little bit about the history of it and everything. And just one day it appeared the advertisement of CICD, and I see like, why not? And it just keep in my mind, and I finished the high school and I see like, yeah, I'm going to try this. And 4 years later, I'm here still. And I'm going finally to Zambia, so
Hopefully.
hopefully,
I hope so.
fingers crossed. Yeah, hopefully dream is becoming reality. So yeah.
Yeah, cool.
How about you, Edu?
So first time I decided to join CICD was actually a couple of years ago, before our common friend COVID came. So then the pandemic just burst out, and so we all had to leave the school. So you kind of go on with your regular life, and then like when they contact me, when the CICD contact me, I was like immediately going back there. So because I wanted to finish the project. So yeah, the reasons in the first place were like, you know, basically I wanted to go back to Africa because I've been to Nigeria to do kind of my first volunteering experience there. I was 19, and then that really kicked me deeply. So create like a really thing inside of me. So I just wanted to go back, you know, and I was just working in a seasonal job in Italy, and then this advertisement on Instagram just pop up. And I said, oh, wow, really nice. So I just kind of go through the whole website, start to contact the school, and here I am. That's it. That was pretty easy, pretty simple.
Yeah, for you too, guys. Actually, I wanted to say that it's very cool that you came back. You know, because yeah, COVID disrupted a lot of
Yeah.
Sure.
a lot of programs, especially like coming from another country, you know, and everything to
Big deal. Like we were waiting like more than 2 years. So
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
But as I told before, like we just as soon as they contact us, we were
We're going.
definitely going back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on.
Good.
Okay. So then, for the two of you who did the Gaia period, I would like you to tell me a bit about what is it. You know, what is the Gaia period? This saving up possibility.
Let me
and
say.
so on?
We can complement each other, no?
Good. Okay. So yeah, Gaia actually officially, I'm not sure you mentioned or not, but yeah, officially like it's give us an opportunity to raise our kind of scholarship fee for the project. So yeah, basically it's a scholarship program officially, but to tell about it deeper a little bit, it's like 6 months where you can collect the money, which those kind of volunteers jobs that CICD offers you. And it's so many different things here at CICD, like included promotion works, like office works, site finding that we are saying, which is it's came from clothes collection from the school. It's not to mix the things. It's like CICD has a clothes collection, and also the income which is coming from the clothes is sponsors us. Volunteers to go and to do development works in African countries or also in India. And for this, we as people, students and volunteers who is coming here to the school, we can kind of give an opportunity from the school. And it's different type of works, jobs in clothes collection. Like that's why I mentioned site finding, and for example, what else I can't remember.
Collection the clothes?
Yeah.
The clothes?
Collect the clothes, also repairing those kind of clothing banks,
Containers?
yeah. Also promotion works, as I mentioned, in office, and I can't remember more. So yeah, that's basically the Gaia to deal with it. And you want to add something else?
No, it's just, I think most of the things you mentioned, it's just an opportunity for people, for example, like us, no, in this moment we had not the possibility to raise this money to pay the program in our countries or somewhere else. So we came here, we lived the community life as well, did a little bit of studies in this period of raising our money, and as well work. In the end it's volunteer work, but in the end it was like having a job. So we worked to have to pay our program in the end. Yeah, so each in different areas, and not all of the students stay in the school. Some students worked in the different countries, like for example Berlin, because we have a big Humana people to people shop there. Some people went to another cities in England. So it's not just like it's a program that you have to be flexible as well to go to other places and make a work to pay your program. No?
Yeah, so officially is the main idea, the main concept is like this. But there is another side that I also enjoyed a lot, and I think that was one of the reasons why actually I joined to CICD and changed my status, like from volunteer to being a guy and then to join to the 12 months team. It's because it's full of challenges, and also it's so much fun. So for example, the first impression that I got from the school when there was a holiday period in August, when I came here in 2020, and then the people around September it just started to like Eduardo, for example, he doesn't did Gaia, and and the others. So, for example, that time the school was full of students, full of life and happiness and so on. And it was quite new for me. And at the same time, also, it was a huge challenge for me to speak in another language, which is the English, because that time I didn't speak well English and I tried to understand the others and so on and so on. But at the same time, also, this community life, it's, I don't know, it's just amazing because there's so many different type of nationalities are together and doing everything together, like from cleaning till cooking and it's like basic things, but because we are so different, that's why at the same time it's a challenge, but at the same time it's I
Fun.
would say fun a lot. So this is that mainly I enjoyed, and this is that also was touching me from the beginning.
Yeah, exactly. For me, particularly this multicultural kind of environment was very interesting because it was my first time of community life, and you know, like you have people from the extreme west of the world, like Latin America, and that at the time there was Echo from Japan, so it's kind of pretty wide.
Yeah,
And
so
so
extremist.
since we cook and we prepare this thing, we have to do them. So you try what the Latinos eat, what the Japanese people eat, what the Hungarians, what the Lithuanian, what the Italian eat. It's kind of really like enrich you somehow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Really
multicultural.
interesting, yeah.
It's
Multicultural.
good.
It's
Yeah.
true.
Because sometimes people only maybe focus on the African part or the project part, which can be also in India or in the Caribbean. But I think it's also important, like this part of the project, so the community, period.
Yeah.
So staying at the school, that's very important.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Can grow you up a lot.
And that I would also add as an extra, it's like we were speaking about this different type of Gaia jobs and so on. It's like those are also huge challenges. For example, I learned here in this school how to drive tractor. I mean, not unofficially, of course, because here in the school, it's even if it's a big field, I mean to cut grass with the tractor, it's alright, it's okay inside. I mean, outside I'm not allowed to drive, so because I have no driving license, I still don't know how to drive in the proper road. But here, I mean, for me, it was a huge thing to learn how to drive a tractor. So, for example, that was one of my favorite experience or moment that I can mention. And also, for example, I always forget this word in English. It's welding. So welding. So it's like learned welding and also painting. I mean, it wasn't really new for me, but a lot of people is mentioning that like they learned here to painting and so many other things. I mean, you can learn during this Gaia period, which is practical.
Yeah, but it's not only during the Gaia period, isn't it? It's like we have building weekends every month, basically, and this actually it does provide an incredible opportunity to like
Definitely.
gain little bits of random skills. Like the
Yeah.
first weekend when I came, I learned how to change windows. You know.
I still
Like,
don't know that.
Yeah, exactly. You know. But then like by doing these things together,
Learning by
we take
doing.
care. Yeah.
Totally.
Problem
Every day.
solving, a lot of
Every
problem
day.
solving.
Yeah, problem solving. That's a good skill. Yeah.
Yeah.
I also improved my problem solving skill.
Creative
Definitely.
thinking.
Definitely,
Mhm.
definitely.
Communication, obviously, also, especially because of the multicultural environment.
Exactly,
Like
yeah.
people coming not speaking the same language, maybe, and then how you communicate and so
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
But people find ways.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go back into the reason for this talk a little bit. We covered some main points in general, and I would like to hear more about this preparation period.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, what are you preparing now for? Where are you going exactly? And then we will go into more specific questions around that.
Yeah.
So, what is this preparation for for Zambia?
Yeah, so basically our project is a 12-month project, so it's divided in 3 parts, which is 5 months, 6 months, and 1 month at the end. So during the 5 first months is like of theoretical studies, so you study here at the school,
Yeah.
doing this community life. Then 6 months is the project period, and we are going to Zambia, yeah. And the last part is bring it to the public. So kind of we go back and we share the knowledge about our project and what did we do, how did we do it, how was our experience. So we are training to become the eyes, which means development in structure. And this give you a kind of, actually with the COVID thing in between.
Our friend.
Before we were studying kind of the whole situation of the whole continent of Africa. So it was not really specific in Zambia because we were know at the time. We didn't know at the time where we would go. Just kind of getting knowledge to what is going on in the world, critical thinking, what do they teach you and what actually is the reality. Kind of this, like, undo these ideas or stereotypes that we have about our nation that we don't know anything about.
Exactly.
And in general, about the whole world. Actually,
Yeah,
because
about wars.
Yeah. So that's it. And so right now we are at the point that we are about to go to the project. And so now is when the whole thing is kind of getting shape. So we are start feeling that we are actually going to the project. So if COVID doesn't trick us again,
Hey,
or whatever thing,
no,
let's cross fingers.
Finger
Yeah.
crossed like that.
So where are you going?
So we are going to Zambia.
Different, yeah, it's different because then we work in trios or in duo, depends.
Yeah.
But mainly, like, talking for me, I'm going to Mkushi, which is DNS school there. And you, Greta, are
I'm
going
going to Chipombo.
Chibombo. Yeah.
We're in the Children Town school.
Yeah, and me, I'm going to NHQ, which means National Headquarters. And these three are really close to each other. I guess also the Children's Town is nearby, is there to us, to
Yeah,
the National
Ndola, Mkushi,
and Ndola.
Chibombo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We will be around somewhere, but not together.
No, yeah.
Because you're from different teams. so.
Yeah, we are.
Different teams.
Yeah.
We're doing the same course, but we are in different teams.
Yeah.
Okay. And do you know already a little bit about your positions? Could you tell me about that?
Yeah, sure, more or less. So, for example, in NHQ, which I mentioned, National Headquarters, mainly we are focusing on actions on fields, and it means also to prepare them and to bring a lot of creativity as much as we can, which we have actually the most difficult challenge. It's not because I'm not creative, just because to put creative in those 4 or 5 main different fields where we were working, that's I think it will be one of the biggest challenge. Anyway, so yeah, we will work mainly on different type of fields, also working not with them, but to bring some extras ideas, for
Extra
example,
help.
we can say that support, help, and these things. Also, we will do some paper works which are always like office works, let's call it like this, but it's mainly focusing on paper versus like having meeting, put new ideas together. I mean, also with the local people, because mostly we are cooperate with them and also with current DIs who is actually already there, or they will come later on after all from different countries and from different schools actually. So yeah, we are cooperating mainly with local people plus other DIs from different areas, and just to put effort and to try to kind of do development work in a project which is already exists there since I don't know how many years. And there is an extras, it's event organizing that I'm looking forward to.
Okay.
One of my favorite. Yeah, that's mainly.
I can tell a little bit. So, what is the Children Town? So yeah, I'm going to work there in the school for the children. That is actually like a reformation center for the children that are coming from the streets. They are coming from the streets from difficult life situations. So some of them being abused or don't have families or have addictions to drugs or alcohol. And this center, the school, gives opportunity to those children to rehabilitate. No, it's the right word. So they focus on the mental health of them. They focus to bring them new skills, to teach them something new that they can use in their daily life after, and maybe try to find a job with it to kind of stabilize their life again. So I will be there working in skills and production. So partly my job is to help to the children to develop those skills, and for me as well to learn those skills. So I will try to bring my knowledge that I have and take the knowledge from them and be also a student in a way to learn some things, because some things probably will be very new for me, like for example working with the metal. I never worked with the metal, but the children are going to do it. So I'm going to be there as well, motivating and trying to be interested in that, because for me it's also very cool to learn something new. So in the end, I think this experience going to for me be is like to learn something new as well, like for those children who are going to be there. So I think I'm going to learn much more from them than they from me. But yeah, I mean, I'm going very positive there, and yeah, I'm very excited just to, because yeah, it's something interesting, and yeah, I think that's it, more or less.
Nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, I will be in DNS Mkushi.
What is DNS? What is DNS Mkushi?
DNS Mkushi is basically a school, and so they are teaching. I mean, there is a teacher training college, so they are training teachers to be teachers in Africa. But also the position that I'm going to cover there, it will be a co-production assistant. So basically, my field will be enhancing the production of the school and of the whole place, of the whole community in general. So understand what the crops are about, and also trying to find ways how to boost them to produce maybe more, maybe something new. So I will bring my focus, my main goal is also to bring some new crops that can be involved there. There's a section also about livestock. So basically, if they have poultry, piggery, or goats, how to enhance the situation for them. What are the animals that are used to cash, so to income? What are the animals or the crops which are used for food, for sustainability? And doing all this, I have also to manage the whole economy of the place. So go through the economy books. Where can we find more income? How can we produce more? How are the relationship with the nearby communities? Can we create farmer clubs, saving clubs? Is there is an irrigation system? Yes, no, how can it be improved? So it's kind of this 360 thinking on how to improve the situation there. Of course, I'm working on my skills on organic gardening, permaculture, but that's different. There is a difference from doing it in Europe and doing it in Zambia. So you have to adapt to the kind of soil they have. You have to find some drought-resistant crops and things that can be, because then it's only mainly maize. So then you do just monocrops, monoculture, and that destroys also biodiversity and stuff like that. So you have to be pretty careful and balanced in doing so. And also, I would like also to cover the position of sports and activities. So maybe I will need to go through students and how to stay healthy, stamina. Then we were studying about this Where There Is No Doctor book. So how to stay healthy where there is not like a medical facility close by.
Yeah, like we have here in Europe. No?
Yeah, because
go to
it's
doctor
very
like
different reality down there. So yeah, kind of adapting the whole thing is good.
Okay. And what have you learned in this study period and this preparation period that is almost over?
Yeah.
That kind of helped you to prepare yourself for this 6-month period, because 6 months is half a year. It's not a short time, and
Yeah.
then going to another part of the world where the conditions, the environment, everything is so different. So could you name at least one thing that this study period in a way helped you to
I
prepare?
think we can answer you with one sentence. Is to answer to your question is what not.
What you didn't learn.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Let me think, because I want to say a really tough one, not because I can say like 20 or 30 different things, but this podcast will be 12 hours instead.
Yeah, let's
Oh,
not
no.
make it 12-hour podcast.
Okay, so yeah, I would say okay, I can try to touch everything a little bit. So mainly, I learned so it's theoretical things like mainly about myself a lot because I understood that how actually the situation is like that, which is like that in Africa right now. How, for example, the history is so connected with the present. Why, for example, they are poor actually, how they actually got poor. And so I don't know you understand or not.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and yeah, so because one of the things that I wanted to mention is I think for me, if I would go there a year ago, which was planned, I would never be a good DI, and I'm really honest. And the reason is because I don't really was open-minded for to go there and to do a development works because I wasn't sure in that what it means exactly. And it's not because I'm a bad person, because I was seeing the world from a different perspective. And this is that mainly I learned during this DI period is to being open for everything, especially for the knowledge, because it doesn't mean their people in Africa, they are doing the things differently. It doesn't mean they are wrong, they are just different. And this is that mainly learned about this whole period, and the studies were helping me for to kind of get this perspective about it. And now I feel that I can be more open-minded and doing development work or something like that. I hope it's understandable. I try to touch everything, but maybe I just confuse you.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to wrap everything up, you
Yeah.
know, to
Yeah.
what have you learned and how you have developed.
Yes.
But
I would say a simple concept is that, I mean, before coming to CICD, I had this idea of the NGOs of the volunteers just going there and giving something
Exactly.
which was missing in those countries. But actually, what I learned here is this simple and short concept that you have to mobilize the community. So you have to involve them. You just don't go there and build up a latrine or
Bring
something,
I don't
because
know.
then you go away and the latrine will be, maybe it doesn't work, maybe then take the pieces and they do something else. So the latrine concept is not there anymore. If you go and teach them how to build a latrine, how to fix it, how to use it, how to keep it clean, that's how you make the community grow and work. So this is the thing that CICD taught me, if I have to sum up in a sentence. So mobilize the community, make them participate. Don't just teach them, be able to sense communication. So listen what they tell you, ask them, involve them, answer, and so this creates a cooperation and development. It's not just
Exactly.
development, it's cooperation and development.
Yeah.
This to sum up, I think
Yeah,
is
I really agree with your point.
yeah.
I also see it that way so much, and it's also like in a practical way living here and studying together in the group, because we have to remember that our courses also is very alternative, it's very open. It's not being the
Yeah.
same in a educational system that we have in the Western world, like in the schools, normal schools. No, we have much more open thing going on. Like you are able to express your feelings, your thoughts. You know, like there is no really right and wrong. It's more like something more open. So it's also for us to mobilize as a team to work together and learn together. You know, it's not only like it's not individualistic work. It's usually like we preparing everything in the teams, in the groups. We study together, we read together, we discuss together, and I think was the beautiful part and the really interesting part of studying here, or making this course. You know, so right now also like going to Africa. Of course, we want to apply, no? Apply the apply the same manners that we learn here, no? So also like I'm not going to, for example, to children town to stand there and teach the children. No, I'm going to learn with them. I'm going to do with them because I also want to learn. So this cooperation and mobilizing each other, and I think yeah.
And then the skills that we are learning here are skills
Exactly.
which will be useful for our whole life.
Exactly.
So it's not something strictly
Exactly.
regarding the project.
Yeah,
like,
and the program as well.
life
because
thing. Yeah.
But I also would add is that before I came to CIC and I was asking my godfather about what actually you are doing in Africa, and he was saying me one thing that is stuck in my mind and I love it. It's like, and this is how I would describe the whole things during this DI period. What I have learned, it's like if you go to Africa and you are just going into the next to the soil, make a hole, put some tomato seeds inside on it, cover it, and let them grow it. It doesn't mean you are doing development work, because you, as an European, of course you know how to plant a tomato, or if you don't know, Google it or ask somebody else. But for you, it's kind of easy because you get used to it, because you have the knowledge all around you. Of course, they also have it, but it's a different kind of culture, different type of field. So that he was saying to me with this example, you also have to go there, and as Eduardo mentioned, mobilize the people and let's do it together, because this is sustainable, and this is what actually we are going to do, and this is what we have learned during the DI period, how to do this, because it's to mobilize the people, as you said, and also do a sustainable development work. It's very hard. I mean, I had some imagination before how it goes, but it's not like that. I don't know, I've never been there, but yeah, I have some people, as I mentioned at the beginning, yeah, and they told me, and I trust them. No, I can feel
You soon you're going to see your eyes very soon.
Exactly. Okay, so do you guys have some kind of expectations for the project?
Yes, we do.
I mean, of course, I mean, there are some,
It's natural.
like, I will not call it really expectations, maybe because I'm a person, I don't like to have really expectations. Like, I just like to go with my eyes closed and I open my eyes when I'm there. You know, like, yeah, because I don't want to create an image of something that later is not going to happen, you know?
That's true.
So it's just, I mean, of course, like, I mean, I say it in a very strong way, you know, but I mean, I'm going and I'm going to see how it is, you know, and I'm just learning everything what I can, you know, reading information, but the reality is going to be when my feet are going to be there on the ground with these people. So for me, I mean, in the end, it's like my expectation, or my more like a dream maybe, just to put my feet there in that ground and be fully there with those people, learn anything I can, language, culture. Yeah, just totally open my heart to this place for those 6 months, and yeah, it's just that.
Yeah, I could say, like, to really get in touch with the reality that, which can sound really far from our reality, but while I'm at home with the running water coming out from the tap and maybe warm food available, medical
Exactly.
facilities pretty close, in the meanwhile someone else is living a totally different situation. So I think that is good for us to stay there 6 months, which is not very long, but it's long enough period to understand a bit, like to get in touch with the reality. And probably another expectation would be like, is this experience going to open some doors, some windows for me in a future professional life? I mean, does it suit me? Does it not suit me? Can I do it like, can I dedicate my life to it? We'll see. So at least it will give me a kind of answer. I hope it will give me answers. It's good. And see if I'm able to do something which is needed and not something which only I like, or because at our age we are put in front of what do I want to do in my life, and this you can go for I like it,
I don't like.
is it needed, I don't like it, is it not needed. So it's kind of prioritize the thing for me. Yeah.
I don't really have expectations. I would say the same like Greta, but I don't want to repeat it. Yeah. No, it's just to go there, faced with challenges and let's see, am I able to do it? I think this is what I would say. Yeah, just to challenge myself mainly and to achieve it in the best way as I can.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Is there anything you're worried about?
Oh yeah,
um,
mosquitoes.
yeah.
No,
Maybe just
That's a
mosquitoes.
fair.
Yeah.
Legit.
no, not really.
I mean, the main worry for me could be like to arrive there and see that I'm not able and not like I lack of consistency maybe, you know? I arrive there and say, okay, it's cool, I like it, but maybe after 1 month is okay, maybe it's too much, and now like or yeah, maybe that like am I going to do a good job there? That's my big worry.
Yeah, me
Yeah,
too, me
yeah,
too.
yeah.
That's my big thing.
I
And
agree.
how and is it really sustainable and is the other DIs who are coming after us,
continue.
yeah, will continue and how they can do if I do actually bad development work, which is not actually development work when it's bad. Yeah, it's like general things, of course. I mean, at least I can say that I'm afraid, and not because of Africa, because it's it's a huge step, at least for me. Other continent, other culture, other language, yeah, it's like English, but yeah, it's a huge step, of course. So in general, I'm worried, but I cannot really describe it why. Just, but this is normal, I guess.
Yeah.
Of course it is, of course.
Definitely.
Okay, so I think very soon we're gonna wrap up, basically. But I have one more question, and then we have like a sharing of final thoughts, or if you have any questions for each other and so on. Can you name a goal for yourself that you're giving to yourself for the 6 months? That like after the 6 months you can look at yourself and you'll be like, I did it, I achieved it, I'm good.
Yeah. It's not a goal that I would say, because I was thinking on this a couple of weeks ago, what I would say to the future David. It's not a goal, but it's a motivation sentence, which is like this: when you are overthinking, not overthinking. That's all. That's quite simple. That's it, because I know that I love to worry. And when I'm worried, I'm overthinking. And when I'm overthinking, I put so many bad things in the future, which is not there, and it might happen, it might not happen. So I don't know. And it is kind of gives you a lot of stress, at least for me. And it's over controlling you, and you cannot focus on the main things. So this sentence for me, which is also written in my book, which is coming with me to the project, and it's written and it sounds like this: when you're overthinking, don't overthink. That's kind of simple.
It can be like a goal as well, right? Like learn how to manage this.
It's a kind of reminder, and that's it.
Affirmation for you.
Yeah, and it's connected with so many other things. Like, don't forget who you are, why did you came here, try to see the positive things when you have a bad day, and so on.
Okay.
For me, I would say maybe this experience could help me to bring a bit of structure to my life. Because now I'm in the moment when I'm exploring everything, trying a bit of this, a bit of that, and I'm looking what is fitting for me, what is not. And I mean, I know to which direction I want to go in my life, but I think this experience can help me to really like make this confirmation. So I hope this will give me this confirmation or not, so then I will search another path.
Yes, for me, the goal could be like build this, as I was saying before, consistency. Because many times when I start something, can be workout, can be this, can be that, can be whatever thing, it arrives a point when naturally fades away. And so I hope these projects, this kind of thing that we are going to do there, this development project, could give me this like structure, as you said, this persistency, consistency, like stay there, steady, and you start and you finish it, and you do 110% every day, and you achieve the aims that my position like gives me. So improve this, bring some innovation, do that, co-production into system. So do it well and do it till the end. That's my goal.
Okay. Do you have any more questions for each other or something else that you want to share about this preparation and how you're, which state of mind you're in right now as well?
Yeah, and now emotions are. When you're worried, when you're excited, and then you start to learn Bemba, which is the language they're going to speak there, and then you go for the vaccinations, and then this, so it starts to get like real. Like, we are really after 2 years of COVID and this and that, we are going. So
it's difficult to believe that this
Wow.
is reality. Yeah. It's still like sometimes like I wake up and I think, oh really, I'm doing this now.
yeah, part of the day you are. And then you remember that you are going to Africa for 6 months,
Yeah,
in
exactly.
Zambia, and wow, it's a big change. So
Yeah.
a lot of emotions.
Yeah.
It's nice. Yeah, I like it.
Mm.
So yeah,
Alrighty. So thank you very much for
Thank
this
you.
conversation.
Thank you.
And then we can continue it behind the camera as well.
yeah.
Yes.
Goodbye.
Thank you.
Bye.